Hello, amazing ladies, and welcome to today's live training. I'm so happy to see you here, taking this time out for your time out of your full busy lives to show up for yourself. And let's be real, how often do you actually do that? Please let me know. How often do you take time out for yourself? Today, we're talking about something that most women carry but hardly ever stop to question. Okay? What happens when you stop controlling everything and just let yourself breathe? Is that something you do already? Let me know in the chat. Or is it something that you have absolutely no freaking idea how to? That's also fine, obviously. Now, you have spent years trying to hold it all together. You spend years controlling the details, the outcomes, the emotions of yourself, but also of other people, correct? Today, we are going to gently open the door to something different. What you've been protecting yourself from, and what freedom might actually feel like when you finally let that go. Now, let me just see if I can. There. I've got a new screen on top of my other screen, and it's a little bit funny. Right, okay, here we go. If we haven't met before, hello, my name is Milou Hilhorst, and I am an empowerment life coach and the founder of the Peaceful Chaos Method group coaching program. I help women over 40 break free from past conditioning and finally feel enough. And if you've ever felt like you're carrying the world on your shoulders, you're managing, you're fixing, you're planning for everyone else, but feel completely disconnected from yourself at the end of the day, then you are absolutely in the right place. I help women to shatter those never good enough feelings and the never good enough conditioning that we've been living by, and that's kept them trapped for decades, so they can finally find their voice, trust their own worth, and build lives that feel peaceful, powerful, and unapologetically theirs. I hope that makes sense. I'm saying. Now, I would like to ask you something. Do you feel like if you do not control every single detail, things will go haywire? Let me know 1, 2, or 3 in the comments if you like. Or do you secretly believe that if you let go even a little, everything you've worked so hard to hold together will collapse? And do you feel the urge to fix, manage, and organize even when you've already completely been overwhelmed and exhausted? If you want to let me know in the chat which one hits you most, or if you can see yourself in one of these or in all of them, that's absolutely fine. If you nodded yes, even a little, you're in the perfect place. Because here's the truth most people do not tell you. Okay, the control that you're clinging to for safety might actually be costing you your very might actually be costing you the very peace that you crave. Now, today, we're going to explore a different way forward. So instead of clinging to the control, we're going to start doing something else. Now, what you'll learn today is, Michelle thinks that's good, I think. I like it. Right, in last week's training, we talked about the trap of feeling in control. So how we cling to managing every detail, every outcome, believing it will finally make us feel safe and at peace, when really it keeps us stuck in survival mode. Today is an extension of that work. So today we're going even deeper. We're going to explore why your brain learned to equate control with safety and why letting go feels so scary. And what you've really been protecting yourself from underneath all that controlling, and most importantly, what freedom might actually feel like when you stop gripping everything so tightly and finally let yourself breathe. And yes, you will leave with a powerful 4-step version of the Awareness Creator tool. And it's designed specifically to help you reset yourself in those real life moments when control tries to take over. Absolutely feel free to share your thoughts and reflections in the comments throughout the training, please, whether you're live or catching the replay. And I'll circle back after the session to respond and connect. And if you need to leave early, no worries. The replay will be available in the Shatter Chaos and Conditioning Facebook group for the next couple of weeks, and also on my YouTube channel, which is free as well. It's called Milou Hilhorst Coaching. And it will be uploaded there tonight, or today. For me, it's tonight. All right, are you ready to loosen your grip and finally give yourself the permission to breathe? Let's dive in, shall we? Right. The hidden cost. The hidden cost is always one that I like because it's nice and confronting with loads of truth. So let's talk about what's really happening behind the scenes of holding it all together, shall we? Oh, I didn't want to do that, sorry. Because yes, on the outside, you're doing it all, correct? The planning, you're fixing, you're managing, you're carrying, you're doing it. You're doing it all. But underneath that surface, it's exhausting. You're not just managing your schedule, you're managing every detail, every feeling, every outcome, not just of yourself, right? You're managing and doing it of everyone else that's around you. And it's costing you more than you realize. It's costing you your peace. It's draining your emotional energy, and it's disconnecting you from your own self. And you're so busy holding everything up that you've lost the space to even feel your own needs anymore. Does this sound familiar? Please let me know in the chat. Now, let's talk about how control masquerades as safety. Let's be honest. Control doesn't show up looking like a problem, does it? It doesn't show up looking like a problem. Let's take this in because this is important. It actually shows up looking like a solution. At first, it feels good being in control. You know, if you plan everything, it means that there's less chaos. If you fix everything, it means that you feel useful. If you predict everything, it protects you from disappointment, right? Now, what if I tell you that control tricks you into thinking, if I can manage it, I can protect myself? It tricks you into thinking that if I'm prepared for everything, nothing will hurt me. Or if I stay one step ahead, I won't get blindsided again. It basically masquerades as love, strength, and responsibility. You manage your family needs because you care, right? You fix everyone else's problems because you're the strong one. And you anticipate every mood and every outcome because you're the responsible one. But what's underneath all that? What's underneath all that? Could it be pressure, resentment, exhaustion, disconnection from yourself? Could it be? Because control promises you safety, but all it delivers is stress, loneliness, and survival mode. Now, can you feel the moments where control tricked you into thinking that you were protecting yourself when really you were just tightening the chains? And I want you to know that you're not broken for falling for it. You were just taught the wrong definition of strength. Okay? Now let's have a look at the cycle that you're stuck in. because it creates a vicious cycle. You grip harder, you burn out, you resent everyone, you shame yourself, you promise to try harder, and then you grip even harder, and so on. So we keep going in that round and round, merry-go-round, vicious circle. But here's your truth bomb. I like truth bombs. I apologize, but I don't. The control that once protected you is now what's suffocating you. Okay? It's not keeping you safe anymore. It's keeping you stuck. But awareness changes everything, and that's what we're building today. Okay? Now, why does letting go feel so unsafe? Why? Because if control is costing you your peace, why does it feel so hard to let it go? And here's the truth that most people don't talk about. Because your brain linked control with safety. So somewhere along the way, through childhood, relationships, work, life, name it, you learned that controlling things helped you avoid disappointment, avoid pain, avoid chaos, or being let down. Okay? And control wasn't about being perfect, it was about surviving. Control is basically a survival mode in disguise. The first one that we can look at is that control became your protection. When you control everything, you can't be caught off guard, correct? You can't be blindsided. You can't be hurt again. And even if it's exhausting, even if you know logically it's not working, emotionally, control feels safer than surrendering. Correct? Now, the second one we can look at is control became your identity. You became the strong one, the responsible one, the safe one for everyone else to go to, that go-to person. Now, letting go feels unsafe because it feels like you're losing more than just the control. It feels like you're losing who you actually are, the go-to person. What if that's not needed anymore? What if you choose that you don't want to be that person anymore? Who are you? But here's the good news. If your brain learned to cling to control, it can also learn that peace, quiet, and letting go are safe too. You don't have to grip your way through life anymore. You just need the right reset when your instincts kick in, and that's exactly what we're moving into next with the Awareness Creator Learning to Exhale edition. So here's the real question. If holding it all together was keeping you safe, why do you still feel anxious, exhausted, and one step away from snapping or breaking? If holding it all together was keeping you safe, why do you still feel anxious and one step away from snapping or breaking? Tell me in the comments if you like. Because the safety that you were chasing through control was never real safety. It was survival. It was coping. And it was fear wearing the mask of strength. But it's okay. It is okay. It makes absolutely complete sense, especially when you've spent a lifetime believing your value comes from how much you carry, how much you fix, how much you manage, and how much you do. All right? It's okay and so understandable. But now we are ready to do it differently. You're ready to shift from controlling everything to trusting yourself, and you're ready to exhale. And at the very first step to doing that is creating the awareness, because you cannot change what you can't see. So that's exactly where the awareness creator comes in. Let's walk through the 4 powerful steps that will help you loosen your grip, not with judgment, but with clarity and choice. Now, step number 1 is pause and feel. Let's start where all real change begins. Pause, feel, notice. When that urge to jump in, fix, manage, or control kicks in, before you react, before you grip tighter, before the panic kicks in, ooh, I need to control it, I need you to pause. Take a deep breath, feel what's happening in your body, and I need you to ask yourself these 3 questions. What am I feeling in this moment? Is it tightness, panic, urgency? Anything. And the second question I need you to ask is, what part of me is afraid right now? And the third one is, what am I trying to stop, prevent, or control? So what is the thing that I'm trying to control or to prevent from happening or to stop from happening? Does that make sense? Because we're not trying to fix anything yet. We're trying to talk ourselves out of the feeling. Okay, so you're simply pausing and witnessing the automatic survival response as it occurs. Because awareness isn't about judgment. It's not. It's about interruption. And every time you pause, even for a second, you weaken the old pattern just a little more. Now, again, these training slides, they will be available on my YouTube channel when it's going to be uploaded. So please make sure that you find them there if you want them. Now, step number 2 is ask empowering questions. I need you to investigate, okay? Because now that you've paused and felt what's happening inside, the next step is to actually, what part of me is afraid now? What does that mean? It's basically, it's a good question, actually. Let me go back. Am I? Yes. Okay. So what am I feeling in this moment? What part of me is afraid right now? And so basically, what are you afraid about? What are you afraid about right now? And what are you trying to stop, prevent, or control? So maybe it might not have been put down too well. So it's basically, what are you feeling in the moment? What are you afraid of? And what are you trying to stop, prevent, or control? Does that make sense? Thanks for that, because that makes more sense. I think it makes more sense than what I put down at first. I'm going to continue, and then if you have any more questions about that, I will get back to you. Is that okay? Right, okay. So, ask empowering questions. I need you to get curious, not critical. So instead of spiraling into why am I like this or what's wrong with me? No. Perfect. Thank you, Annette. What's wrong with me? We're not, seriously, we're not having any judgment about this, okay? You need to ask empowering questions instead that pull you into deeper understanding. That's all we're doing. No judgment, no criticism. We're just getting to understand more what's going on. So I need you to ask yourself, what am I really afraid of losing right now if I let go? Or what are you really afraid of right now that might happen? The what ifs. Okay? Now, or are you trying to prove something to other people or to yourself when you control things. So maybe you step in just to let people know that you've got things under control, that you can handle it. What are you trying to prove? Okay. And I need you to ask yourself, is this urgency real? Is it real, or is it just familiar? And is it a trigger, or is it a automatic behavior? Okay. Now these questions are powerful because they do not shame you. They actually show you. And they help you to disentangle the real fear from the old survival programming. Does that make sense? Because once you see what you're really trying to protect, you can then stop gripping so tightly to everything that's hurting you, because you will realize that there's no need to protect it anymore. It's an old survival mechanism that kicks in. And it helped you years and years ago, but now it's not helpful anymore. And that's all we are showing ourselves in this stage, okay? Because curiosity cracks the armor and awareness creates the choice, okay? Right, okay. I hope this made sense, Bernadette. Right, the third step is flip the script. I need you to disrupt the old story. So now comes the real shift, flipping the story that's been running in the background for years. Because right now, your brain probably tells you, if I let go, everything will fall apart. Or if I stop managing it all, I'll fail, or people will leave, or people will dislike me. Or if I don't hold it together, who will? That's probably your brain at this moment in time. But I need you to know that you're allowed to tell yourself this instead. It's a new story. We're flipping it into letting go isn't a weakness, it's trust, right? And it's not my job to carry everything for everyone. And you can be loved and safe and enough, even if things aren't perfect. Now, flipping the script isn't about pretending life isn't messy, because life is fucking messy. It's damn messy. It's messy every single freaking day. Okay? We're not pretending it's not. Absolutely not. It's about reminding your mind and your body that you do not have to live in emergency mode anymore. It's okay when life is messy. It's normal. Okay? And you're allowed to soften. You are allowed to breathe. You're allowed to choose peace over perfection. Although I know that's quite a hard one. And the more you practice flipping the script, the quieter that survival voice becomes, and the louder your true self gets. Does that make sense? Now, the fourth step, which is kind of twisted towards this training today, is we're taking it out of theory and into real life, okay? Because it's one thing to understand this. Hi, Brandy. It's one thing to understand this, and it's another thing to live it. Okay, and today, right now, you choose one thing to let go of. Yes, Annette, here we go again. Last week, it was a funny one. How did you get on with that, Annette? I need you to ask yourself, what's one thing I've been micromanaging forever that I could finally loosen my grip on today? Maybe it's something small as the way that the towels are folded, because we all have our ways, don't we? Or the tone of someone's text message or email, or whether or not everything gets done your way. Choose one thing. Breathe into the discomfort and let it go on purpose. I think today I've had the best example that I could have given you in this training, which is quite, a coincidence, but If you've seen the post in Shatter, if you've seen the post on my Facebook page, because I've blown it up, okay? I got a hater comment on one of my ads that's running on Meta, Facebook, and Instagram. Someone was wondering. um, someone was wondering who the heck I was and what I was doing on our feed. Obviously, she didn't want to see me. Well, that's fine, absolutely fine. The old me would have actually gone into the people pleasing and into the apologizing for, oh, I'm sorry, I'm not your person, or I'm sorry that you didn't like me, or I'm sorry I popped up on your feed. Okay. The person I am today actually giggled. I actually did not fucking care that this person said this to me or reacted on an ad that anyone could watch on Facebook. So there will be a lot more people that see that comment. I do not care. I decided that I was able to use that to my advantage. My reaction to this person was, if you don't like it, doggone, scroll further. I don't care. Okay? It's not up to me what Facebook does with my ads. You probably needed to see me somehow, even though you didn't like it. It does not matter. Okay? But I'm using it to my advantage. I reacted the way that I react at this moment in time so that people now can see where I am, what I'm like, what I stand for, what I find important. She crossed my boundary by saying something nasty, but I was able to show her and the world that I do not care, simply because I do not. I think it's funny that someone took time out of their day to actually react to an ad of mine. She didn't have to do that. She could have just scrolled on. But she felt the need, the urge to do so. Perfect. You live your life, I live mine. Okay? So that's the thing that I learned today. Use things to your advantage. I was able to breathe. I was able to actually giggle and laugh and then flip it into using it to my advantage. Okay? I chose that thing. I chose that reaction. I took a breath into the discomfort because at first I was a bit taken aback by a hater's comment. But then I let it go on purpose because it's not worth it. Okay, it's not worth it. And every time that you take this choice, make this choice and actually exhale instead of control, I could have hidden that comment. I chose not to. I chose to leave it there and just have a witty reaction. It was lovely. I really enjoyed it. Every time you exhale instead of control and controlling everything around you, you teach your brain a new truth. It teaches your brain that you are safe, even when you're not managing anything or everything. And it also teaches you that you can be at peace even when things are imperfect. Right? And this is how you start creating real freedom. One exhale at the time. So let's do a quick recap. And then I've seen your comments. Let me see. Dinner was not that great last week, but I loved having time. So you gave up, making the dinner plans, cooking, whatever. It wasn't that great, but it was good to have the time, I guess. And you choose now to let go of control of having everyone be on time for dinner. A real issue for me. My next question would be, Annette, why? Why is it an issue? This is a nice one. I like this one. Right. Okay. Quick recap. The 4-step awareness creator exhale edition. Let's quickly walk through what we covered today because these 4 steps are small. They are not an overnight change. Unfortunately, it does not work like that, but they are everything when you're trying to loosen the grip of control. Small steps. Okay. The first one was pause and feel. When you feel the urge to control, I need you to stop, breathe, and feel what's happening inside you before you react. Okay. Then I need you to ask empowering questions. I need you to get curious, not critical. What are you really afraid of? What old fear is showing up here? And 3 is flip the script. Challenging the survival story, running your mind. Letting go isn't weakness. It's a new kind of strength. And the 4th step was you let yourself exhale. For real this time. Okay? Pick one thing today you refuse to micromanage. Let it be imperfect. Breathe. Remind yourself you're safe without gripping everything so tightly. And every time you go through these 4 steps, even if it's messy, you're building trust in yourself instead of trust in control. And you're not doing it wrong if it feels hard. You're doing it differently. And that's amazing. And that's where the freedom starts. Okay? Now, before we close today, I want you to hear this. If you're still here, listening, breathing a little deeper, maybe sitting in a little discomfort, I'm sorry, I'm quite straightforward. I can't help it. This is me. You're already doing the real work. You're already choosing trust over control. And that matters. So here's what I encourage you to do next. Rewatch today's session. Awareness builds with repetition. Go back, re-listen, let it sink even deeper. You'll hear something new each time you revisit it. Drop your biggest takeaway in the comments, but land it today. What felt uncomfortable but true. Your comment might just unlock a huge shift for another woman here who's feeling exactly like you. Let me know in the comments what your biggest takeaway is, please. Now, do you want my eyes on your chaos and help you forward for free, which is basically the Take Back Control mentorship call? I have a few slots open this week in my online calendar. These are real pressure-free conversations where we'll look at what's keeping you in survival mode and what needs to shift. These are not sales calls, absolutely not. They're just a genuine conversation where I help you make that first shift. And I'll drop the link in the comments after this training. Is there anyone that's here now that would like to book a call? Please let me know. Now, last question, ready to go even deeper than that? Do you need deeper support? I've got you. I offer one-to-one coaching. My signature group coaching program, the Peaceful Chaos Method, is for women ready to stop managing everyone else's lives and start living their own. If you're craving peace and clarity and the life that feels like yours, send me a message or book a call. You do not have to do this alone. Now, I'm going to stop sharing my screen so I'll blow up yours with my face. I apologize. Right. Coming next week is masterclass time because it's the end of the month. Wednesday, April 30th, I'm hosting a live masterclass and it's called Condition to Chaos. How your past created your chaotic habitual patterns and how to break free. If you ever wondered, why am I like this? Why you can't seem to relax, why you can't seem to trust or stop overthinking, no matter how hard you try, this masterclass is what you need. You're going deep into how your childhood conditioning, past relationships, and societal roles shape the emotional chaos you keep getting stuck in today. And more importantly, how you can finally start breaking free from survival mode and move into true self-empowerment. This masterclass will give you the clarity you've been searching for and a clear next step to start healing the cycle, not just managing it. The details will be posted inside the Shatter Chaos and Conditioning Facebook group soon, so keep your eyes peeled. And I will send an email out tomorrow morning. Well, tomorrow. And it will be announced in that. Please register for the Zoom link Because if you show up in Zoom live, you will be put in the draw for a win. I'm not sure what I'm giving away yet, but it's definitely worth coming for. Right, this Friday, don't forget, April 25th, I'm dropping the extended version of the Awareness Creator Exhale edition inside the group, and it's the simple but powerful reset you can use whenever you feel the urge to control, fix, or spiral back into survival mode. And it will help you pause, breathe, and choose a different response, one that's rooted in trust instead of fear. Now, keep an eye out for the post this Friday inside the Shatter Chaos and Conditioning Facebook group, and make sure to comment on the post when you see it that you want that freebie, and I'll personally make sure it comes your way in Messenger. I need you to know that you deserve to breathe. You deserve to feel enough, safe, and free without gripping everything so tightly. And the best part is that you do not have to figure it out alone. Thank you for being here today. I see you, I honor you, and I'm walking this journey right alongside you. Let's loosen the grip together, and I will see you next week in the masterclass. Bye.